Now that we've created our customers and added their administrators, let's take a look at how we can manage our customers in the system. We mentioned in the navigation section that if we hover over any one of the partners in our partner list, that we can see an ellipse. And if we click onto that ellipse, we're going to see a drop down. Any place in the system where you see an ellipse, there's a drop down, and there are some activities that we can do. A couple of these are redundant to activities we can do in other ways. We'll start with the first two. The first one is Go To. So if I click on the Go To button, it's the same as if I click the hyperlink to go down a level into the system, and then I can use my breadcrumbs up here to come back up to an upper level in the system. If I click on the Configure button, it's the same as if I had clicked anywhere on this row other than in the ellipse or on the hyperlink. And so if I click here for our demo customer, for instance, I will see our configuration button brings up our configuration off to the left, our right-hand pop-up window. So those two sets of functionality are duplicative of things we've seen already. If we click on the Configure button, if we click on the Disable button, we can both disable and re-enable. You'll notice that there is no delete button in the interface, and that's because in order to delete a partner or a customer, you first have to disable it. So we will click on the Disable button here, and you will see our status has changed to Disable. And if we click on the ellipse again, you will notice we have two new features, Enable and Delete. If I try to click on the Delete button, you'll note it'll tell me that, first of all, that this operation is irreversible, but also tell me all of the impacts of making this decision. In addition, it's going to ask me to put in my login information again to make sure that I really wanted to perform that action. I will subsequently click on the Enable button because we really don't want to delete this partner or customer. If I come through and I click on the ellipse again, we will see that there are two other items here, Show ID and Move. The Show ID and Move configurations are related. If I wanted to move, let's say, ABC Corp into the sample partner that I have here, I will first need to come over and get from the sample partner its ID. And so you will see right here we have an internal ID, which we can then copy. And then if we go over to our ABC Corp, click Move, I can then put that internal ID into that location and click the Move button. Now, there are a couple of caveats. If you're going to move an account, the partner that you're moving it to, the entity that you're moving it to, must have at least the same permissions, quotas, and products that are available that the customer already has. And so you do need to make sure you meet a couple of caveats, but you'll notice that the ABC customer is now missing from our list, and that's because they've been moved a lower level down into the system, and you'll see them here. ABC Corp is now available there. There's one other set of functionality I need to show you, and that is with regard to partners. If I click on the ellipse for a partner as opposed to a customer, you will see that I have one other set of configurations, and that is the ability to convert this to a folder. And if I do convert this to a folder, you will see that this now has a folder instead of a little apartment complex on it. And if I come back, now I can convert it back into a partner. The reason why we did this is because when we first brought out the product, it didn't have this folder functionality. The purpose of folders is to act as a hierarchy for our partners. Let's say they have different locations, different product types, different administrators, different geographies, whatever it is that they want to change up their amount of hierarchy in their system, they can do so. However, before we had this available, many of our partners used the additional partner levels to do that exact same thing, which was okay from a management point of view, but which was terrible from a billing point of view because they had to create lots of different billing entities in their own system, lots of integrations. By doing it this way, we only have to have the one integration with them, but now we do have the ability to convert to folder, convert to partner, so that you have that functionality as well. Moving over to the users, we also have similar functionality under the ellipse here. In this case, it's much simpler. The first one is we have the ability to disable and enable our users. And then also you must, again, if you disable them, you will finally be able to delete them. And again, it will ask you for your credentials here. Please note that if you do delete an administrator or delete a user, and they're attached to backup plans, you may also be losing that data. And it warns you here of all the plans that may be revoked if you do this exact action. I'm going to go ahead, and now we see that we have an enable button here. And then the other feature that we have is a reset password. So if I have a partner administrator who can't remember their password, we can send them a reset. It'll send them another validation email that have them update their password and change it. And if this end user had not yet validated, we would also have the ability to resend the validation email as well.